Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel and tap the notification bell. I'd appreciate it majorly. Sort of want to update you on the shooting in Germany. It's the synagogue shooting, but it seems as though there's multiple gunmen and reports of a second gunman. Two gunmen, I believe, at the synagogue shooting. I think one of those is in custody. One remains at large on foot, as I understand it. But there's reports of a second or third gunman or a second shooting incident in a town not far from there, Landsberg, Germany, about 10 miles from Halle, Germany. They're both in central Germany, and this is the site of the synagogue shooting, is where it started. And I believe it was multiple gunmen with multiple weapons. Initially, it was reported as some kind of like submachine gun, but I don't think so. I think it was just some kind of shotgun, maybe a sawed-off shotgun. Because there's video here, which is the first thing I'm going to show you, of somebody basically in a standoff with police. You can't see the police, they're off screen, and, sort of barricading themselves behind this car, going back and forth from side to side. It's very quick, but firing multiple times. It's an individual dressed in sort of like military type, garb, with a large helmet on, and shooting from a car with the door open. But I don't know if he had hijacked that vehicle or not. I don't believe so. I believe he is this person in this video is one of the two gunmen that were at the synagogue that reportedly shot and killed one woman. There's two people, at least two people dead. And it's not sure if those were passerbys or persons from the synagogue. I don't think so. I think it was passerbys. I think they were trying to make entry into the synagogue, but it has a large wall that's about 8 feet high, or a couple meters high, and a gate that remains locked, and actually prevented them from getting in there. And there was like 70, 80 people inside the synagogue. It's Yom Kippur. At the time the incident went down. So had they been able to gain entry, they probably would have been able to kill many, many, many more. So here's the video of, and then I'll go through some of the latest updates.
Der offenbar tatsächlich sich schießt, aus einem Auto gestiegen ist. Die Bilder haben uns soeben erreicht. Das Geschehen ist ungefähr 1 Stunde, 1,5 Stunden, 2 Stunden her. Einem Täter oder mehreren Tätern. Wir sehen jetzt hier erste Bilder aus der Innenstadt von Halle. Das ist das Paulusviertel. Wir sehen einen.
I mean, that almost looks like some kind of, I don't know, some kind of strange handgun. I really don't know. I'm not a weapons expert. So, and I believe that is the same person that's here. That's the same individual. I'm not positive. They kind of has the same sort of dress on. And this is out of a kebab shop that was very close to the synagogue where where the gunman went to, or at least one of the gunmen went to, following, when they weren't able to gain entry into the synagogue. As I understand it as well, as that situation was unfolding, I think they tried to hijack a taxi, and the taxi driver and his wife, or the passenger and his wife, sort of fought back. I think they shot one or two of those individuals who have been taken to the hospital. I don't think they're any of the people that died, and so they fled on foot. And, first going to this kebab shop right here. I mean, I see some comments or people speculating that this is like Islamic terrorism. If you ask me, it sounds to me like it's not. I mean, first off, the way they're dressed, it just doesn't seem that way. And also, a kebab shop. That's a bear. And they stopped this. They threw one of their hand grenades. I didn't report it actually, but it's pretty well reported by now that as well as shooting at the synagogue, they were throwing some kind of handmade, like pipe bombs or hand grenades that actually went off into the cemetery next to the synagogue. They threw I believe this individual threw one of those same things into this kebab restaurant. And it literally landed at the feet of, some of the patrons, and it just, a woman, I believe, and didn't go off, and then he raised his weapon and fired at the glass, shattering the glass. I don't know if anybody in there were injured or killed. Right now, it's being reported there are at least two people dead and others wounded. So, but being that it's a kebab shop, a kebab restaurant, that's Arabic cuisine. I'm fairly certain an Islamic terrorist would be aware of that and wouldn't be one of its targets. In my opinion. So I just don't think it's Islamic terrorism at all. And but I could be wrong. So just to kind of quickly, and the Daily Mail has been pretty good at getting the details out pretty quickly. At least 2 people have been killed after gunmen targeted a synagogue in Germany on Yom Kippur. One woman died alongside another person after at least 2 attackers wearing military-style uniforms opened fire in the city of Halle, eastern Germany, on Wednesday morning. Several people were also injured. Jewish community leaders said the men had tried to get inside the synagogue, Anschlag Vor Synagogue, where around 80 people were praying but were stopped by security measures before attacking people outside. The men used submachine gun during their attack. I don't know that that's accurate, but and threw a grenade into the Jewish cemetery before fleeing. Police have arrested one suspect. I think one of those two. It might even be that individual in this video here was the one that's in custody. So far. And told residents to stay alert while a manhunt continues. Gunshots were later reported in Landsberg, 10 miles from Halle, though it was not immediately clear if the two were linked. I would be shocked if they were not, but images and video have emerged showing one of the gunmen outside of a kebab shop close to the synagogue, pacing the streets while wearing tactical gear before firing several rounds from what appears to be a shotgun. And so that's this video and this picture, and that's near the synagogue. So that's the one incident. I mean, there's just reports of a second gunman in Landsberg, but very little details and no details in terms of people being killed or anything like that. And it says that the gunman in Landsberg would manage to hijack a vehicle. These two were fleeing on foot, and one of them was arrested. So there's 2 persons at large, according to this report, if I'm piecing it together properly. And one of those persons is on foot. The second person is had hijacked a vehicle, and that's the person in Landsberg. So footage shows the man climbing out of a car before sheltering behind the door as he fires up the street. Each shot ejects a plume of gray smoke as the gunman stops to reload before firing again. Spent casings can be seen dropping to the ground behind him. And that's like a sawed-off shotgun, I believe, and he sawed off the handle as well, so he can almost hold it just with one hand. Max Pravorsky, who heads the Jewish community in Halle, said the gunman had attempted to enter the synagogue, but the security measures were able to withstand the attack. He added 70 to 80 people were in the synagogue at the time of the attack. It is thought the attackers tried to flee in a taxi, but were confronted by the driver and his wife, who were shot and have since been taken to the hospital. The attackers are thought to have tried to flee on foot before one of them was arrested. Meanwhile, in Landsberg, the mayor said the gunman who attacked the town had hijacked a car. There was also a large police presence reported in Weisterdorf, a short distance from Landsberg. Konrad Rosler, a 28-year-old railway worker interviewed on German TV, said that he had been in a kebab shop when he saw a man with a helmet and military jacket launch the attack. Rosler said the attacker threw a grenade at the shop, which bounced off the door frame before he fired shots into the shop. He said he locked himself in the toilet and heard several more loud bangs before police arrived. So that just confuses me. I don't know if that's one of the kebab shop, because the caption to this picture says it's not far from the synagogue. But it's not clear to me if the kebab attack was actually in one of the other locations and not near the synagogue. But I'm not sure. It's just too different. I mean, I've tried to reread it several times to kind of make it out and understand it better, and I'm just not totally clear on it. Speaking to NTV, a police spokesman said the motive of the suspect or suspects was not clear. We don't have any indication about motive of this act. Officers also reported that shots were fired in Landsberg, about 10 miles from Halle. It wasn't clear whether that incident was related to the earlier shooting. That is the kebab shop right there, okay? The kebab kebab shop, which is said to have been targeted by one of the gunmen, as witness said shots were fired inside. Armed officers helped a woman across the street, stepping around shell casings. Police say they have arrested one person in connection with the attack, but told residents to shelter in place while the manhunt continues. Police secure the area after a shooting in eastern city of Halle. So I think all those so I think all these photos are from around the synagogue area in Halle. So the kebab shop, I do believe, is part of the synagogue shooting and is very close by, and they fled there on foot. And that there's potentially another gunman, another shooting that there's very little information on at Landsberg, about 10 miles from Halle. That's the situation there, man. That's the story there. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.